Hi everyone and welcome to Code on Fire. In this tutorial we will look at how if, elif and else statements work in Python. Let's start with this first example where we have declared a variable to which we have simply assigned an integer value of 10. Next we place our statement which as always will be followed by a condition a greater than 10. If this condition turns out to be true, the entire block of code that we report after the colon should be activated. So, once we finish writing our condition, we should close it with a colon and write below everything that should happen and what the consequences of this verified condition will be. We should write it exactly with this indentation, with this number of spaces. If we place the cursor after the colon and press the enter key, we realize that the cursor will automatically be placed in this position, which is the correct one. Now, in this case, we said that if this condition is true, the word yes should be returned on the screen. Otherwise, and here we are in the else, if this condition is not true, it should return the word wrong. And indeed, that is what we get, because this condition is not true. As we can see, in the else, we have not placed any other condition, because in this case it will only be executed if this condition is not verified. In this first example, we have placed a condition that could be true and an otherwise, but we also have the possibility through elif to place multiple conditions. Here we have declared a variable and assigned it an integer value that we will insert later. It will be requested as input, and we place the following condition. If a is equal to 1, the word red should be returned. Then we use elif to declare another condition that can also be true and have the same hierarchical level as the first. We will then see what the hierarchical level within if, elif and else statements consists of. So, if our variable is equal to 2, we will have yellow, equal to 3, black. Otherwise, an output should be returned in which we are told that the choice is not valid. So, if we run it, we are asked to enter a value. We enter a value of 2 and the word yellow will be returned as we expected. Now, the keywords if, elif and else should all be written with a lowercase initial letter. In fact, in Python, all keywords are written with a lowercase initial letter, except true and false, which should be written with an uppercase initial letter. So, we were saying that these three conditions have the same hierarchical level, including the else in the end. But it is also possible to nest conditions, as in this case. Now we assign a value of 5 to the variable a and place our first condition, which will be as follows. If a is equal to 5 and this condition turns out to be true, we should go behind the colon and follow this part of the code. So we should have the word hello as output. But again, we are declaring in this case that if the first condition turns out to be true, then the second condition that we place here below with this indentation should also be considered. This means that the second condition we place in this part will depend on and be considered only if the first, which has the higher hierarchical level, let's say the parent, turns out to be true. In this case, it will be considered, since the variable a is indeed equal to 5, and therefore this condition will also be considered true, giving us the output of the word hello twice. If we change the assigned value to 6 and run it, we will not get any result, simply because the first condition is not true And this nested condition, therefore a child of the first, will not be considered and will be skipped. In this case, nothing is returned because we did not include an else as in the other examples. So far, we have seen how to set conditions using arithmetic operators. It is also possible to set conditions using Boolean operators. In this case, we will take OR and AND. In this example, we assign an integer value of 20 to a variable and set the following condition. If a is greater than 10 and simultaneously equal to 20, and here we have used the Boolean operator AND, as we can see also written with a lowercase initial letter, the word yes should be printed, which is exactly what happens. Let's see an example in which we will use the other Boolean operator we are considering, which is OR. We still have the same variable with the same assigned value. Condition, if a is greater than 10 or a is equal to 20, then we should get the word yes as output. In this case, it is enough for one of the two conditions to be true for the statement to be considered true. So, for example, if I enter a value of 40 here and run it, we will still get the word yes as output, because the first condition set, a greater than 10, is true, and 1 is enough in this case. That's all for now. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to the channel.